The car metaphor. So we've introduced the different types of spirits. This metaphor can help bring it together. So we can think of a human being as being like a car, and the rule is there's one person and one driver per car. This metaphor can be a useful, simple way to explain to your client that it's never really a good idea to have somebody come in and allow them to influence you in the car. So the car is the physical body of the client. The higher self is the spirit of the client, which is driving the car. It's setting the direction, living out its purpose, and going where it needs to go to fulfill its purpose in this life. Spirit guides, metaphorically, may be the only welcome visitors to the car. And they are so ethereal, so infrequent in the time that they'll spend in the car. In this metaphor, you can't even imagine them as being like close friends or family that sit in the car. It's almost as if they're acting just as a navigational system, so that very occasionally, just for a minute or so, find out where exactly are we going. They help set the direction, they give you an idea how you're going to get there, and then they go. They don't impose themselves. They don't have any sort of weight or energy drain. Earthbound spirits may metaphorically be the kind of spirit that may seem like a friend, but can eventually become an annoying backseat driver, and over time become more of an energy drain, a weight that you need to carry around, and something that can divert you from your purpose, your direction, and getting to where you need to get to. Dark force entities may metaphorically be a little bit more dangerous. They may try and put their hand on the wheel while you're trying to drive, which they may be the kind of entity that encourages you to have a couple of drinks before or while you're driving. While this may appeal to some people at some times and seem kind of okay, that kind of behavior, if continued for a longer time, can have serious negative consequences. So the attachment. Sometimes these entities may actually be invited into your vehicle by the driver. Sometimes they may be like hitchhikers or people that just force themselves into the car without asking permission. Either way, even an invited guest can overstay its welcome. They may start living in your car, sleeping in your car, partying in your car, trashing your car. Releasement involves explaining to the inappropriate spirit attachments that they're no longer invited, perhaps that they never were, and that it's time for them to get out. And this may be partly through the realization that though we may metaphorically have had the intention or allowed our body to be used like a people carrier, in fact, in order for us to fulfill our purpose and get where we need to go, our bodies are actually more like a Formula One car, which is there's only space for one person in that car. To get where we want to go, to have high performance in life, to have the best vehicle available, it's a one-seater. The therapy and spirit releasement therapy metaphorically can mean if you have had people into your vehicle and you haven't transformed it into the highest performance vehicle around, then you're going to need to clean that car up. So therapy in the context of spirit releasement therapy and in this metaphor means that once you've released the spirit attachments, you're going to have to clean up the effects of having those spirits being in your vehicle. So they may have destroyed the upholstery, they may have worn out the chassis and the brakes, they may have emptied out your fuel tank. So what we need to do is go in, make sure that we've got locks on the doors so that people can't just open up the back door and hop in. We need to clean up all the mess that's been made, and we need to ultimately transform the vehicle so it becomes a one-seater only at the highest performance possible. And it doesn't have vulnerabilities and openings for large numbers of spirits to settle in and make themselves at home. Part of the therapy is also looking at what caused the vulnerabilities for the spirit attachment in the first place. We can then go to any root causes and fix them, so the process that led to spirit attachment isn't repeated. We'll go into this in detail later in the course.